Hi, I'm Mary, a librarian and book reviewer with a focus on stories written for kids, tweens, and teens. Today I get to share with you this book called Into the Fairy Hill by H.S. Norup. This is the story of Alfred, who's never really felt like he belonged anywhere. He moved a lot with his dad during his childhood for his dad's job. His legs are not exactly the same length, and his mother's dead, and that finds him very distant from any of the other kids he encounters. But when his dad's job brings them back to the place of his birth, things start to change. As his dad is working on building a tunnel through the nearby Faerie Hill, Alfred is finding that there are creatures who may be appended that his dad doesn't know about. When he can see the fair folk and talk to them, things start to change for Alfred, and he starts to see the world in a new light. Accompanied by a new friend named Saga, he begins to investigate the fairy world and where his actual place might be, especially as he searches for answers about his mother and what really happened back then. So, as the story goes along, he has to figure out how to resolve the natural conflict happening in his world and also figure out where he came from and where he truly belongs. This thoughtful middle grade story investigates feelings of grief and also environmental conservation in a way that is really resonant in the present day. It focuses in magical realism, so you have the fair folk who are admittedly not very happy about the fact that a tunnel might be built through their land, and how they exact their revenge on the humans who are changing the world that they know. And as Alfred learns about the fair folk and about his own history, he learns that the world is bigger than he ever expected, and not everyone has been telling him the whole truth. So he has to lean into his gut instincts, his new friendship, and a world he's now discovering to figure out the truth behind everything. It is written for an upper middle grade audience. There is not a lot of white space, and the text is fairly small, but the pacing is very quick. There's a lot of dialogue and also thoughtful reflection in the book, but the momentum of the story goes pretty quickly. There's a good amount of tension that is woven into the story, some danger as well, and that keeps readers focused on what's happening and what might happen next. It is a beautiful homage to the love of a child for his mother, even though she's not always physically present in his space, but the fact that humans are resilient and that they can figure out solutions to problems even when they are not necessarily obvious at the first look. If this sounds like a great fit for you or for someone you know, I hope you look for it wherever you get your books.